all of the organs of the digestive system form into a tube. We call it the alimentary canal or GI tract. And so we start with the oral cavity all the way down to the anus. Okay, so it's all connected to one another. So it's known as alimentary canal or GI tract. And so we have the oral cavity, and then the pharynx, which is your throat. Pharynx continues with the here is a pharynx right here, continues with the esophagus. Remember, we're going to learn in lecture that on the extending from the soft palate, all right, in your oral cavity there is a flap, all right. That flap is called uvula, and uvula, when you swallow food, it moves up, all right, and closes the nasal cavity, all right, so the food doesn't go through the nasal cavity. And then also in pharynx, in the region of laryngopharynx, all right, there is also epiglottis. Part of the larynx is epiglottis. So when you're swallowing food, epiglottis closes the trachea. So this is the pharynx right here. So one part of the pharynx will open up to basic pharynx, continues with the esophagus, and then when you're swallowing, the epiglottis of the larynx close the trachea. Okay, so the food or fluid doesn't go into trachea. So so pharynx, and this is the esophagus, all right. And when we remove the liver, then we can see the rest of the digestive tract organs, all right. The stomach, all right, and remember, stomach continues to beginning of the small intestine, which we call it duodenum. So this is duodenum, and then this is the rest of the small intestine. So the beginning is called duodenum, and then the middle is called jejunum, and then the end of the small intestine forms ileum, all right. Ileum basically connects to the large intestine through a sphincter. I mean, all these organs, when they connect from one organ to another, there's a sphincter between them, all right. And I'll go over the sphincters later, all right, the name of this one. So here's your large intestine. The beginning of your large intestine is the cecum. So that's the cecum, and then ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon. And then when we remove the large intestine, we can see the rectum, and then the anus right here. This is the appendix, all right. This extension is the appendix. So, and then you also, of course, you see the anal canal right in this structure. Now, when we talk about the connections, you know, the esophagus, when it connects, basically when you swallow food, food is going to go down from the esophagus to the stomach. There is a sphincter between the stomach and esophagus. It's called esophageal sphincter, all right. And then so when you're swallowing, that sphincter relaxes. It's made of basically smooth muscles, all right. And we call it sphincter because the arrangement of these smooth muscles is round or circular. And then also there is a sphincter between stomach and beginning of small intestine, duodenum. This sphincter, when we look at the stomach, open it up. You can see the sphincter here is called pyloric sphincter. All right, so the connection between stomach, the sphincter between stomach and small intestine is pyloric sphincter, and then the sphincter between the ileum and the cecum, or the beginning of large intestine, is called iliac. All right, iliac sphincter. So we know these sphincters between the alimentary canal. Now, just basically, when we look at, again, in your diagrams, you're gonna learn about the structure of each organ, right? So you can distinguish basically different parts of the organ. So here's your stomach. This dome-shaped part of the stomach is called fundus, all right? And then this is now known as lesser curvature and what greater curvature of the stomach. And then when we open the interior of the stomach, and then this opening of the stomach, basically from the esophagus to stomach, is called cardia right here. Now,